Hello, welcome to the daily political tarot readings here on the Black and Orange channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Having a kind of late summer moment here. I thought some nice fresh berries would be a lovely bit of energy. So this is what we're doing today. 10% of all income that comes into the channel goes to feedingamerica.org, which supplies food to food banks across the country, and that's an ongoing thing. So thank you for that. We have epic troll slayers, to whom I am forever grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Also, just so you know, if it helps any, two things. One, if you're watching this on replay, hello. Down in the description box are today's questions, but also I timestamp things as I go. And then afterward, I clean up the timestamping. So you don't have to listen to me talk at the beginning or anything. You can just go straight down to the description box. Just open that up and you should see all the questions with the timestamping. Just click on the numbers and you can go to what you're interested in. Okay. The second thing is I'm making some, you won't notice any difference in what I'm doing. But I'm making some changes that, fingers crossed. I'm going to start being able to start this live stream at exactly 12 o'clock. I know, crazy, but it will actually be, well, I can't even say it'll be 12 at 12, but it will be at 12, on the dot. Hopefully. This is what I'm working toward. So some changes are going on in production land. It's just me. There's no, there's no like team. Makeup. See, there's no, yeah, but anyway, I'm making some changes. So hopefully that will make things easier for people who are watching in chat. And also, there's something else about that. Oh, the thing is, though, about starting at 12 exactly is I don't usually have 12 questions in the chat at 12. There's usually maybe 6, maybe. So I don't want to, oh, my goodness. That's lipstick. Is it Stigmata or is it Maybelline? Actually, it's Revlon. Makeup Stigmata, because you're worth it. That's L'Oreal, but anyway. All right, so now I just have a little bit of glitter on my hand. Okay. So do get your questions in. And right now I've got 11 questions, and I was just going in here because I needed one more, but I was waiting. And Kate's here. Hello, Kate. The 12th question today is from Kate, who I used to work with, who is a wonderful human being and just a sweetheart. For some reason, I had trouble fitting the questions in the chat. So I just wanted to let you know. Whoa, sorry, one last thing. I've got the questions for today. I'm sorry. It's first come, first serve on the questions. But I'll be back tomorrow. I'm literally here 365 days of the year. Okay. Do note that there was somebody in the comments over, and sometimes it's in the comments under the video, sometimes it's comments on when I post on the community page. But there are people, this recent one was calling themselves WhatsApp, but with one P and then a plus sign and a whole bunch of just symbols, little wingdings, saying hit me up for more guidance or something like that. This is someone, they just take the picture, the avatar that I use, they just save it and then they use it to try to scam, so you think it's me saying, hey, hit me up for more guidance. I don't do personal readings. I don't offer them. Just so you know, people like that, it's not me. Because one person responded and was saying, well, I don't use WhatsApp, but, let me look into this or something. And it's like, no, not me. And I don't let's see. I think I have WhatsApp on my phone to talk to my family every blue moon, but not usually. So just so you know, I don't offer personal readings. And if somebody's in the chat or is responding to you, don't just glance at the little picture, because people can just steal that. Anyway, so just so you know about that. All right. Steve, I like your idea about maybe doing collaboration Fridays. Well, let me see. Let me talk to some other readers and see what can happen there. Okay. And let's see here. And I'm just going to put this, it's like the 13th question, but I'm just going to throw it in there. Okay. And it's saying this is too long. All right. Almost ready. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Thank you, White Dragon, saying just start when you're able. I understand, but this is getting ridiculous. My thing is, I mean, even Black and Orange is a part of my little publishing company. Is an actual LLC. It's called Book Art Media. And I named it that because those are the three kind of category. What all this different work I do, I'm putting into these different categories. It just helps me keep it straight in my head. Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology is a part of Book Art Media. There's a reason I was telling you that. Oh, and the tagline for Book Art Media is quality and creativity in publishing. Number one word there. Quality. When I'm running late, I'm not creating a quality product. And I have a 6th house sun. I may have no earth in my chart, and I have no earth in my chart, but I do have a Scorpio sun in the 6th house of Virgo, which is my sense of self, is that crafting, that this craftsperson mentality. So So today we're going to start with Manchin. Maria had a question, is Manchin going to sabotage Biden's reconciliation bill to be passed? And is this a reconciliation bill for infrastructure? Maria, let me know, please. Or we could do that one second. Because Wondering Eyes had a question, will Greg Abbott and his Texas Republicans be reelected to continue their reign of terror over Texas women? So actually, I think we actually might start there, to be honest. So, and then we'll do the question about Manchin and reconciliation and all of those things. All right. So just move this down and get out the cards, and we'll get started on today's 12 at 12. Let's see. All right. Just having a look in the chat. Thank you, Dave. Don't worry. You can't do anything wrong. You're an artist. Oh, thank you. Oh, Maria, it is about infrastructure. Okay. Then number 2, we'll do sabotage of Biden's in. Got it. All right. So that will be number 2. But we're going to start with Wondering Eyes question. Polly wanted, my 6-inch press-on toenails are making my cats crazy. I would imagine it'd make it hard to walk. You'd walk like you were wearing like a scuba diver. I imagine. Greg Abbott. And for those of you who are new around here, thank you for being here. But also just know that the whole point with the overlays and the silliness and what have you, it's to get the energy up, and then we dive down into the muck of dealing with these people and these issues and all this stuff, and then we can come back up and kind of catch our breath and then go back down. So if we're reading on really heinous, horrible things, but then between questions we seem to be laughing and joking, it's not because we're callous. It's because we're trying to get the vibrational energy going up. Kate, thank you for demonstrating. I think Kate's making fun of me. Oh, the walking with flippers, yes. Oh, come on, you've known me for how long? This is a surprise. Christine's saying, thank you so much for sharing your insights and humor. Oh, thank you for being here. Okay, so at 10, thank you, seriously. All right, so at, say 10:45. Greg Abbott, will they, in his Texas Republicans, will they be reelected to continue their reign of terror? Let's see here. All right, Abbott, where are you and where are your flying monkeys? I understood that reference. I get the sense they weren't expecting quite this level of pushback. They're expecting some pushback, of course. The other side, they're going to have their fit, because this is a dog whistle. This is absolutely a call to their base. I will in a minute, Lisa. Thank you for asking. So this is a call to their base, absolutely, and they were expecting. But this, I'm feeling a kind of like, oh, this is a real problem. So Abbott and his flying monkeys. So is the Lollipop Brigade going to, who would be the Lollipop Brigade? They wouldn't vote. They wouldn't vote. Not for her. Nah, I can't make a joke there. I give up. All of them. Thank you, Robin. Abbott. Are we stuck with you? Oh, yes. Seriously. Could there be a better card for what we're talking about here? I mean, let's limit women's rights. Ding. Six of Cups. Chariot. Ace of Swords. Hermit. Fool. All right, first of all, we've got three major arcana. Here. When I was growing up, there was an incredible reticence to even say the word abortion. It was something that you didn't even want to say the word. And coming up with legislation against it was an ongoing thing, and you had people splitting into two camps. But there was, the patriarchy had an even firmer grip than it has now. Today, that's not the case. It's easier for people to talk about. It's easier for people to demand it as part of women's rights. So they're trying to pull a 1950 kind of stunt. But in the modern world, there are people who, like me, they don't own a car. I don't own a car. They don't own a car. They're not starting families. They're delaying getting married, if they get married at all. They can't buy a house. And the idea of, they can barely feed themselves. And these are young people who should be able to start families. And they're saying no. And it's a much bigger force, plus general liberal mindedness, plus a reaction to all the far right garbage that was the Trump era. So this is a big force of, we're not taking this anymore. And this is the sort of truth in the middle. People have better, heck, when I was young, I went to a Catholic school, never had sex ed. Never. Not a word. Not a word. And it was extremely limited even in public schools. There were schools that didn't have it. But people know more. They know, they're better educated. They know more about how things work. So this is looking at people also more politically active since the Trump era began. So people are looking at this, and if these guys want to just pretend that it's a different era, things aren't going to end well for them. Feisty Butterfly, hello. Stunt is the right word. What they're distracting us from, what are they distracting us from? It's so ridiculous. They're trying dog whistles is what this is. And this was traditionally a good dog whistle topic, but it's not anymore. And the evangelicals do not have the power they had 20 years ago even. So, yeah. So Greg Abbott and your flying monkeys. Are you going to be reelected? They're throwing everything at the wall they can think of. Just, what can we do? Everything they can think of. Women, motherhood. And again, they deal in these back of the brain, lizard brain issues. This isn't higher functioning, understanding subtleties and nuances and needing, using what education you have. This is back of the brain. Little women should be, definitely have all the children, but then if they starve to death, if they're abused, whatever. But this isn't talking about Abbott and his ilk being tossed out. Thank you, Deborah. Really, Abbott? You're not going to have any there's not going to be any political blowback. When does Abbott go back up for re-election? Does anybody know? Let's see here. Republicans. This is not going to go well for them. These laws, plural. Card for the reading is the Republicans. So this refers to Republicans, not to the other side. Our numbers aren't looking good. Oh, 2022. Thank you. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Christina. Thank Our numbers aren't looking so good. Oh, this is not good. This 10 of Swords Tower, this is not good for Republicans. And this is people on the left saying, no, we demand autonomy over our own bodies. If I have a clump of cells... No, Cortana, stop. I don't understand. Sorry. I don't know where that came from. It assumed that's what I was saying. If I have a clump of, I have a clump of cells in my liver, as I mentioned yesterday. These clump of cells in my liver are none of your business. That goes for every other organ I have, too. And especially, this is galling. I mean, for all the many, many, many reasons people listed, but one I don't hear mentioned as often, is that you don't pay for my medical insurance anyway. Well, public money doesn't go to abortions, but even if it did, even just my basic health care, you don't help me with my health care. You do squat to help me with my health care. Have several seats. Yeah. All right, 20. Charles is saying times are changing. I wonder how they'd feel if there was a rise of interracial babies. Well, there is. And why shouldn't there be? And, you know, even if you look at dogs, the purebreds aren't necessarily the healthiest. It isn't the healthiest thing to do to have this narrow genetic path. It's not good. Oh, J-Lo's pointing out that people without the plumbing have no rights to regulate them. Did you guys? I saved it. I gotta show you this. I got the screen capture so I could show you this genius. Here we go. I'll read it to you. Pataki, is that how you pronounce her name? Tells a male reporter who asked why Biden supports abortion, quote, he believes it's up to a woman to make those decisions and up to a woman to make those decisions with her doctor. I know you've never faced those choices, nor have you ever been pregnant. Close quotes. Sit down. Yeah. Also, there was something suddenly it's gone very dark in here. There was one thing I was thinking about reading on today, but it didn't come up. Trump is in advanced talks to sell the DC hotel, but he's not likely to get the $500 million he was asking for in 2019. So, all right, we're going dark here, so we're going to move this. Because otherwise, I won't be able to see the cards. Okay. There we go. Saki, thank you. Thank you. I love that. Anyway. Bam. Yes. Yep. Have you seen the Try Guys on YouTube? The time that they tried having time of the month. They found it very enlightening. That was a good video. All right, but let's jump on to the next thing. 25, we'll go back to Manchin. 25 Maria was asking, is Senator Joe Manchin, going to sabotage Biden's infrastructure reconciliation bill? Also, Pelosi has said that she's going to introduce a bill to protect women's rights, but it's likely to, of course, face a very steep hurdle in the Senate. House to vote on a bill guaranteeing abortion access in response to the Texas law. They come back on, by the way, the House comes back on September 20th, just so you know. So it's only the 4th. So we still have a couple of weeks of this sort of churning before they're actually back and able to do stuff. Select committee can start holding public hearings, that kind of stuff. So Pelosi said that after the House returns to session on September 20th, the chamber will vote on a bill from Representative Judy Chu, California. But given that Senate Republicans would likely filibuster any House-passed bill to guarantee abortion access, the legislation faces steep hurdles to become law, despite narrow Democratic majorities in both chambers. Across the Capitol, and this is what reminded me about this, across the Capitol, the Senate companion bill to choose legislation has the support of 48 Democrats. 2 Democrats have not signed on as co-sponsors. Bob Casey and, guess who? Joe Manchin. And that's about that topic. We're going to look at infrastructure, but Manchin being Manchin, the Great Wall of Manchin. Oh. Rita says the Supreme Court's not back until October. Thank you, Rita. Manchin, where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, infrastructure, reconciliation bill. Oh, he delights. He's like a kid. He just quietly delights in the attention, in being the stick in the mud, the spoke, the wheel, the stick in the spokes. But it feels like the infrastructure bill, let's see what the cards say, but it might actually have enough bipartisan support in its current state, which is woefully pathetic, that he might actually support it. It's what it said on the article in the Hill, Pamela. So, Wheel of Fortune, infrastructure bill. Well, let's see what that could mean. Card of Time, card of Fate, Justice, Seven of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Actually, the infrastructure bill may actually pass. I mean, they're not going to raise taxes on the ultra rich, because the Republicans wouldn't go for this if that didn't happen. So, because that could have paid for this, or paid for a big chunk of it. But yeah, I've got happy Democratic families here going over bridges and aren't going to crumble beneath them. There's some balance there. Republicans, some were willing to talk. We've got this is the majority of the Democrats, and it's in the center position. And this is on the right. This is a starter. It's not a non-starter. It's a starter. It's we might be able to do something here. Okay, well, that's good. Hey, Kevin. Katie, thank you for reminding us. Before I forget, the shaman pleaded guilty last night. 4 years in jail. 4 years in prison for an idiot. He's a simple man. Okay, so Lisa has a question at 3030, and the question is, are we facing major food shortages and other SHTF scenarios? That does stand for something, but I'm not going to say it. In the near future, are we facing major food shortages and bad situation scenarios? Okay, I did want to mention this as well. There was an article about why the prices of things have come up, or been going up. It's actually some things, and it's not all things. And a lot of it has to do with shipping. There was to some extent, the shipping industry, shipping stuff nearly collapsed in 2020. And so then when the economy started ramping back up, the space to ship was significantly reduced. And apparently things like if you have something manufactured, for example, in China, in the article, it was someone who had these stuffed giraffes or something, made and shipped from China. To fill a shipping container, or once a shipping container was full, we had enough product for that. To ship one shipping container from China to the U.S. was it was just under $5,000. It was like 4,700 and some. And that's what it costs to ship it here. That exact same thing is currently costing $20,000. And so those costs are having to be pushed forward onto consumers, or the companies will lose money. It's not even not making a profit, it's losing money. So a lot of that is going on. And there's other stuff that isn't just getting stuff from China. So we'll have a look at facing major food shortages and what have you. But there are things were disrupted. And I'll never forget, there was a video on YouTube. It was like a documentary or something, but it was basically about the Earth. And it had the whole beginning was just these aerial shots going over all these different places in the world. And it wasn't, famous landmarks. It was just this manufacturing, these houses, this business, these animals, this. And after sitting through enough of those, after a few minutes, you started to get a better sense of the scale of the world, of how much is out there. And in the immortal words of comedian Stephen Wright, it's a small world, but I'd hate to paint it. I'd hate to ship it too. Cindy's saying, do the higher shipping prices have anything to do with 45's deal with China? I'm not sure. I honestly, it didn't mention that in the article. But are we going to be facing major food shortages? Is this, because things have been disrupted. That was COVID. That was the pandemic. It hit us hard. Three of Pentacles, the world, structure, organizing, planning, shipping around the world, around the country, around King of Wands, 10 of Wands, Tower. Well, these are the Trump policies. That doesn't feel, this feels like a continuation. So Tower of Trump and the policies there. So that doesn't necessarily answer the question. And yes, Gary, the pandemic is not over yet, which is extremely sad. So Susan says food will be going up because of droughts in the U.S. and around the world. Farmers are bringing their cows to market now. They also don't have water for crops. Yeah. Krista says certain brands of pet food have been hard to get because of supply chain issues. Mary's saying, I live on a farm. Food is getting harder to grow. Weather is the problem. Has really changed in the last 5 years. Had to plant beans 5 times this year due to rain. Oh, goodness. Let me turn that down. Working, but people are working at it. Wheel of Fortune, it's going to take time. And there's still a lot coming at us. But we're also a very, we're here in the States, certainly we're a very bounteous nation. We are going to get through this. We really are. There are, I'm not just saying it. There really are good days ahead. But there are going to be disruptions for a while. Lisa says, I order my food for pickup so I don't see the shelves. I understand. So, Michael says they're turning ranches and orange groves in Florida into condos and roads. And Rhonda New says we're in a drought too. My magic chimes. Sorry about that. They're kind of loud. So I'm getting disruption more than I'm getting catastrophe. But climate change is very much a major issue here. This is not something to mess around with. We have to do something about it. We have to do something about it yesterday. Higher wisdom, and also notice the wall, the whole cloth of pomegranates behind her. 4 of Wands, 9 of Wands, Queen of Swords, whoops, 5 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. For those who are slender means and of very good means, there's organizing. Things that were taken for granted, but we went through all this. This is, as soon as I pulled this card, it feels like a very good organizer. So, and people being very good organizers, trying to work things out. So it's not going to be the end. So I'm not getting catastrophe. I'm getting disruption. I hope that helps. Gary's saying, I can't grow anything now because we have too much rain. It would rot. Oh, gosh. Katie says, plant-based turkey's not bad. Yeah. Actually, Gardein, the holidays last year, oh, they came out with a thing. I loved it. I'd buy it all year if it was available, but I can't find it. It was actually a meat-based, it was like a chicken Kiev kind of shape thing. Breaded and kind of a meat, plant-based meat, chickeny type, turkey-ish type thing, but it had stuffing in the middle with cranberries and rice and black rice and stuff. Oh, it was so good. That was yummy. So, all right. Okay. Shayla says, I grew inside this year, loving the indoor veggie wall. Well, there's just more greenery in general that I think we're all going to have in our homes. I mean, my little pile of greenery over here is growing. As twere, it's getting bigger, I should say. So I can't really easily turn the camera, or I'd show you. I got a thing so that the pothos can climb up that. I got a bigger pot for the orchid plant. I didn't buy any of these plants. They were dying under other people's care and under other people's care. And so it was like, give me the plant. And so they're slowly recovering, but I had to get special stuff for the orchid. Anne says, I remember when I only showed my hands, you could see the window toward the garage. Yes. Okay. Kevin likes a plant-based salad. Oh, I know you're from Texas, but you know there are salads that are not plant-based. You know, the kind with gelatin and Cool Whip and pineapple bits and, you know, from the 60s. Anyway. Okay. So at 42, I thought that the law had passed requiring women to register for the draft, but it has not passed yet. And Lisa would like to know if it's going to pass. What it says here is, or what I looked up, it said House panel backs requiring women to register for the draft. The House Armed Services Committee vote follows a similar vote in the Senate to expand the Selective Service System to include women. So the question is, Lisa's question, will the Senate Defense Bill requiring women to register for the draft be passed into law? And now, end of my nose, just the very tip of my nose is itching, right there. So will women be required to register for the draft? Or will all young women be required to register for the draft? Oh, this is the card for the reading. This is, they haven't in the past. They've been barred from doing that, or depending on how you look at it, maybe requiring them hems them in. It's kind of your viewpoint, whether you want that or not. And if, by the way, if we're going to have women in the draft, then how about we do more to enforce assault and harassment laws in the military? Okay, thanks. Knight of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Cups, Seven of Swords, Page of Swords. Page of Swords, young person with a weapon. Push for the bill. If we want equality, I keep turning you down. Why are you? Do I have to unlock you? What do I have to do to get the volume down? There. Sorry. I'm not saying one way or the other whether it should or not. And Rita's saying, how about no one in the draft? Well, I don't want to get, I got a lot of questions to get into, and this is a long discussion. Ultimately, I think there are enough people, because there's this change, there's this time. Give it time. If not now, then eventually. This, it, again, depends on how you feel. This thief card, this Seven of Swords is much like this Eight of Swords, depending on which way you look at it. But ultimately, I've got young people holding weapons of male, female, and gender rebels. So, our glorious gender rebels. Who was it in the chat yesterday who I didn't get to mention it because I was thank you, Sheila, so much for coming on. But somebody in the chat said, well, with all this stuff going on in Texas, I guess for pansexuals, it's like, oh, well, women it is. $46. Oh, Katie had a question about President skinny dipping. Okay, the question is, weird question, but how many founding fathers skinny dipped? And are they embarrassed that we know? There's some rumors about Hamilton and that a few of the 20s, I think only 3 people ever skinny dipped in the Potomac. JFK swam in general, just not in the nude, but he also did so for his back in a pool in the White House that is now the press room. I'm not getting a whole lot of energy on this one. And this itch literally right there on my nose, right there. There's this itch right there, and I do not know where it's coming from. I wonder if I've got to like push a nerve or something to make this go away. Something. It's annoying. But I'm not getting a lot of energy on this. You know, and this was high patriarchy we're talking about, and men, you know, and bathing and as far as being embarrassed, that we know, I don't care. Human bodies, you know, Two of Swords. It was a decision. That's funny. What I'm getting is, it isn't that they'd be embarrassed that we know about it. They're just really glad it isn't today, because they wouldn't want pictures. They wouldn't want Mr. Wand in the photographs. And I'm going to just leave that there and keep going. And Ropas is bringing up the concept of cold water. I'm elsewhere. I'm not here. 49. Polly Wanda has a question. Polly Wanda, I'm curious about your wording on this, because where am I? Yeah. I'm not going there, guys. Okay. Polly Wanda, you asked, will we witness a resurgence of religion to answer the needs of modern times? Spirituality? Because, oh, look at that. The Hierophant, the church. When I think of religion, I think of institution, church. But we're entering the age of Aquarius. Pluto's about to go into Aquarius in just a couple of years. And it's all about spirituality and a lack of religion. So I was just curious. I'm not looking at the chat. I'm just going to ignore the chat for a few minutes. Thank you. All right. Will we witness a resurgence of spirituality? Browan is saying there's a resurgence of the older religions without the baggage from the cultures they came from. I mean, when I was, a few decades ago, basically, I was friends with a modern day druid. And boy, I wish I'd stayed in touch with him, because dude had some power. And I remember saying to him, "Oh, could I study, with you?" And he's like, "No." Oh, okay. He's like, "You're a woman. And with druids, I'm a man. And the men and the women, it was separate." It's like, what? He's like, "Yeah, it's just..." Anyway. This has to do with the pentacles are earth signs. It's the physical. And we're understanding that the physical, what is solid, isn't actually solid, and that we are in a sea of energy. And there's a confluence of science and spirituality. So there's that. Gary's saying, yes, I remember the days of Spartacus. Firsthand. 10 of Swords. Queen of Cups. Page of Swords. 4 of Swords. King of Cups. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. It did a lot of damage, but this is a more gentle, a less dogmatic spirituality that's rising, that empowers everyone, not just excluding women. Spirituality for women was what the men told us it was, to some extent. I understand there are exceptions out there, but in general. And this is this kind of bullying, and there's still some low-level bullying, but this bullying will end. And so we've got a queen and a king here of cups. This is more spirituality. And this is the end of this kind of retribution-based religion. So spirituality will continue to flourish. Polyawandis is a new matriarchal religion. I think it's kind of diffused. Hello. I mean, I've been working on this. I got this workbook, and it has to do with end-of-life stuff. And just, setting things up so if something happens to you, your wishes are known, and that kind of thing. In a nutshell, anybody cares, cremation, please. And what you put me in, put me in a big tea tin. I don't care. And as far as scattering my ashes or keeping them, I don't think that's up for me to decide. Whatever gives somebody comfort, or if somebody just wants to get rid of it, or if somebody wants to keep it close, have at it. Anyway. But I'm pretty obviously a spiritual person. And that's one of the things I was asking. Your church, your spiritual advisor, what religion are you, and what denomination do you want, or what religion or denomination or whatever do you want overseeing the funeral and all this stuff? And it's like, I'm a very spiritual person, but I don't have a leader. The whole point is we help each other, and we experience things firsthand as much as we can, and we listen to others, and we take on board what makes sense to us, what we can experience. There's no leader. So a matriarchal religion would be okay, but I'm not even seeing really, for me personally, there is no leader, and I don't know that there ever will be. Katie says, my dad's remains are in a tea vase. Bless. So, Jolie says, I want my ashes buried and a tree planted on top. Oh, that's good. Actually, it is possible. There are actually, and a bio urn is one option. That's what that is called. Cat Shepherd was saying, I'm getting a bio urn. My ashes will grow. Thank you, Dave. We'll grow a chestnut tree after I pass. Oh, have to say, I'm not sure about the chestnut tree. It must be, if it has meaning to you, fantastic. Personally, I'm disappointed by chestnuts. There was a whole thing about Christmas and roasting chestnuts and what have you, and I actually was fortunate enough to be in the United Kingdom and have some of those famed roasted chestnuts. They are awful. It was really just to keep your hands warm because they are tasteless and they are just, it's like eating bark. I mean, it's just, I was very disappointed with chestnuts. But anyway, that's why I see chestnuts in like flavored coffee. It's like spiced chestnuts. It's like spiced what? Ick. Anyway. But seriously, actually, there are places, there are options out there, which may continue, where you don't even get cremated first. They put you on the ground. They put a tree on top, and you fertilize the tree as is. But it can be a biohazard to deal with setting that up, so it's not available everywhere. So anyway, Paula says, I love salted and roasted chestnuts. Oh, okay. Michael says you can have your ashes compressed into a diamond. That's interesting. Thank you, Marby. Thank you. Thank you. Kevin says, for me, buzzards got to eat too. I like that. Nana says, I have donated my body to science. Excellent. I am an organ donor. My family will want something, but any usable bits, take them. Here. I hope you like green eyes with a little brown in the middle. They're all yours. Yeah, we've been through enough wars. We could use some kindness, and we could use a more of a separation between church and state. So anyway, Kate says it's a thing in some places still. Leave the body for the birds and bury the bones later. There we go. Kat says there's a glass foundry on the coast that will swirl your ashes into a glass globe. 50. All right. Polly Wanda, will I be raptured against my will? Okay, so Cindy had a question, and this is a hypothetical. Because I get conflicting information, and I don't know that I'm getting necessarily completely. I don't think I'm getting completely different answers from all the other readers. I just think it's a matter of degrees. I should talk about what I'm talking about, and then I can clarify. So Cindy's question is, if 45 is proven to be an illegitimate president, will all the 200 plus judges he appointed, including the 3 Supreme Court judges, be deemed null and void? Now, will he be deemed an illegitimate president? That's a different question. But if if he is deemed illegitimate, and I think it's a matter of degrees, but that's not the question here. If he is deemed an illegitimate president, so basically at some point here, will the 200 plus judges and the 3 Supreme Court justices he had appointed be found null and void? Because in reality, he didn't appoint them. He put them up for, he nominated them. It's the Senate that put them in office. All right. McConnell's so proud. He's so proud of all the judges he got. He stopped Biden from putting in, and then all the ones he stole. He's so proud. He is such a blank. Okay, 3 of Cups, 9 of Swords, 8 of Swords, Moon, Devil. I'm getting a sense of a slow movement. Very slow energy. If this is the Wheel of Fortune, it's turning so slowly, it's nearly imperceptible. But this feels like Democrats winning the election and then judges having a lot to worry about and all kinds of misdeeds and things that should have been caught in their confirmation processes coming out. So I think it's more of a review. Democrats got power, so there's a review. And boy, does it uncover stuff. So I'm not getting, there's no Trump here. There's no Trump energy here. This has to do with putting people in place who are unqualified, unfair, completely politically motivated, and just who have done stupid stuff. That coming out. So I have been, for what it's worth, I have been getting both judges and justices, specifically one, hearing, there being hearings and things and investigations and some of them, you're out of here. That's what I've been getting. All right, at 1:04, where are we? Janelle has a question. 1:04. Okay, indictments in. Why isn't this showing up properly? Oh, because that's so long. Okay, indictments in September. Are there indictments coming in September this month for Rudy, Matt Gaetz, General Flynn, Trump org, anyone? I'm going to do a general, and then if we get something positive, I'll try to break that down. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. I so look forward to this. This month, indictments. Gaetz. More in Trump org. Flynn, somebody. Trump. What about Georgia? What about what Cohen went to prison for? If Cohen went to prison, I still do not understand how Cohen went to prison individual one couldn't be arrested because of his position at the time, but he's not in that position anymore and hasn't been for months and months and months. Hello? That information is already set. All that information is already there, and it's already been through the courts. Patience. I hate that. They keep telling me to be patient. Oh, Charles is saying, did you guys hear that Mayor Pete and his husband got 2 babies? Aw, a little vibe to break up the monotony. Aw, that is wonderful. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Oh, thank you, Julie. Okay. Ace of Wands. King of Wands. Page of Swords. Oh, man, I did not miss this Trump energy. Page of Pentacles. Oh, Kushner. Hello, Kushner. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh. Are there going to be indictments? Gaetz, Flynn. This is all Trump world. That's Kushner. But other than that, this is both of them. This is all Trump world. Bullying, trying to fight back, refusing to cooperate. There's Trump, the man. There's Kushner, the evil mannequin. There's both of them sitting pretty thinking, we'll put it off until whenever, and we can get away with it, and with all this stuff, and we're above it all, and we're better than the likes of you. Hey, boy. Oh, wait. Something about astrology. Mother Earth Tarot saying some astrologers are predicting a health issue for Biden in the coming months. I hope not. I'll have to look into that. But even a health issue, my parents are older than Biden. And health issues, yeah. Potentially bad ones. Things that could go horribly, like to the worst of the worst. Yeah. They've been very fortunate so far. So just because this idea of Biden may get sick. But indictments in September. This September 2021, there were indictments against false records, lies, part of me wants to say, well, it would make sense if the grand jury, Cy Vance's grand jury, is going to come up with more charged indictments, something. But I don't know about the energy there. Let me see what the cards say. Sometimes I need to use a card just to get out of my own way mentally. All right, sorry, I don't mean to touch the microphone. Sorry about that. I keep bumping into it. 4 of Cups, Ace of Cups, Star, King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Trying to make deals. Sorry. There is some hope there. There's some hope here and some positive energy coming through against Trump and the money situation and how things were. I'm picking up Trump stuff. And I know I've shown you guys a couple of news stories, but I think I sent it to my friend. Trump is in the latter stages of selling the Washington, D.C. hotel. Yes, but he's not likely to get the $500 million that he was asking for in 2019. But that, he's going to need the money. His Trump Org, it's hemorrhaging money. So that's what I'm getting there. But I am not getting aggressive law enforcement. Alas, I'm not getting the Chariot and the Knight of Swords, as in we're gonna go visit Trump, Sniffy Jr. or the evil mannequin at 6 a.m. and wake them up and ransack their houses. Gary says, "Is this the old post office hotel?" Yeah. Yep. Okay. Mother Earth says, "I need to throw at Biden all the good energy and health." Yes, we need to throw at Biden all the good energy and health we can. Absolutely. Okay. I'm sorry, Patty, I've got my questions for today, but I'm here 365 days of the year. It's very first come, first serve, with very few exceptions. So 112, where are we? Okay. Fire Sky had a question. Texas judges temporarily blocks anti-abortion group from suing Planned Parenthood providers under a new law. That's from CNN. But then there's also where you just said the Texas vigilante law is currently stayed by a judge. Is that the same thing? Because I'm happy to read on the vigilante law. So I'll just, unless you tell me differently, I'm just going to read on the vigilante law. Kevin says, "Wish Mayor Pete well. I was a Mr. Mom. It was the hardest and most rewarding thing I ever did. Gave me a new respect for all moms." Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. All right. 13. Texas vigilante law. Texas vigilante law. This can't be legal. Seriously. Logically, this cannot be legal. But anyway, all right. It's not what I think. We're asking the cards. We're asking the collective energy. I don't get cards based on what I want. Or my readings would be a lot different. Vigilante law in Texas. Unwieldy. Very just unwieldy. I felt like I was about to just drop all the cards because it was just too, the energy is just too, like it's like carrying a giant sack of flour that's inside only half full. So it's you got clumps here, and so you're trying to hold it there, and it's just flopping around. Very unwieldy. That's the energy. Republicans didn't think this through. Did not think this through. There's an argument to be made they weren't thinking at all, but they did not think this idea through. This was an idea that some lawyer somewhere came up with. Oh, well, we can't have the state do something like that. Can we have the people do it? Fire Sky says, "It's a joke. The logistics and court issues would be untenable." They are. 5 of Swords. Four of Swords. This is that vigilante justice. This is an insult to injury. I hope that means it's coming to an end. I think it's a matter of time before it gets struck down, but they're going to try something else. This is the insult to injury because they have this delusional view that this is somehow going to create some Caucasian 1950s sitcom world. But the people on the far right, they end up in chaos. It's too much. And so the Republicans in Texas, I think first they try to adjust it, like maybe we can make this workable, but it's untenable. CL is saying, I can't imagine law enforcement in Texas would be pleased with that. It makes their job harder. Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Far right, feeling very pleased with themselves. Six of Swords, Emperor, 10 of Pentacles. States around Texas are being flooded with women who are seeking health care to just bypass all of this garbage. This whole thing's untenable. And the good news is, at least what it feels like is it won't stand in the long run. It won't. But the fact that it's standing now is crazy making. Anyway. Okay. At let's say 118. Joe had a question about what... Oh, here we go. All right. I'll try not to get on a soapbox with this one. Okay. So, what message does Spirit have for the religious right in the U.S.? There are going to be some opinions in the chat. 3, 2, 1, go. Does Spirit have any... What message does Spirit have for... I'll make sure I get the wording right. What message does Spirit have for the religious right in the U.S.? What message does Spirit have for the religious right in the... I can't get the words out. Feisty Butterfly Tarot saying, sit down and take a seat. Ace of Cups. I'm going to look at the other cards before I say anything. White Dragon was saying, read and follow Jesus' teachings in the Bible. That's kind of along the lines of this. And I looked up and Kevin Brazil just said, get bent. Was it the comedian who was talking about religion and Jesus, and or was it it was probably a church leader, but somebody was saying, Jesus saying, love your fellow, love others as you love yourself, or and have them treat them as you would treat yourself, and give to the poor and show compassion. And if you are struck, turn the other cheek, offer them the other cheek, and you will be rewarded in the kingdom of my Father. And the comedian was saying, what after that Jesus had to say, I'm sorry, did I stutter? are you? They're not listening to what he said to do. Yahshua of Nazareth did not believe in the prosperity gospel. This idea that, well, if you're rich, it means you have God's favor. No. Four of Cups. This, we've been trying to tell you, this is what he actually believed and was teaching. The man was super hippie. Super hippie. And he died for the sins of the world. And it's not about you little people and your guns and your money. It's about, you know, these are wares laid out at a charity shop, or someone offering what they have, or a merchant offering things at a very reasonable price. And he doesn't become a billionaire, a multi-billionaire from this, because he's taking care of his family, but he's also helping others, because that's called being in civilization. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there because I really don't want to go on a rant right now. Feisty Butterfly Tarot, love one another. I hear you. Oh. Knocked over the moneylenders' tables, was it? 122. All right, where are we? Okay, Rhonda, I don't think I'm going to read on the Ahmaud Arbery case today. It's complicated, and there are some other cases that are. Is it McCain? Was that the other similar thing that's been in the news recently? McNeil? Maybe it was McNeil. But the point is that this is all very complicated and infuriating, and I would want to be able to do it justice. So we'll see if we can get back to that one. I'll just say Black Lives Matter. They do. Okay. 123.30. Kate had a question. And let's do Janelle's question. 123.30. And then we'll do Kate's. I do more involved stuff more toward the beginning, and it's because it's 1:45. So, but we'll get there. I always feel bad when I don't read on something, but your questions are very important to me. I don't think I could do it justice right now. All right. So Janelle is asking: is the former guy going to announce he's running for president in 2024? Well, here's the thing. If he does that, all that money he's collecting comes under very specific campaign finance laws. Whereas right now, he's skirting a whole bunch of stuff by just saying, donate to me. And what he can do with the money, it's in the fine print, and it's just basically anything he wants to. So, found his energy. Judgment. Hopefully he's facing judgment. Oh yeah, Charlene, the pillow guy. He sold he sold his plane, his private plane, because he needs the money. Yep. Star. 7. Oh, he's just lying. The 7 of Cups. 4 of Pentacles. You would think, with all the money that he supposedly is raising, and all the money that, you know, trying to sell the Washington, D.C. hotel and all of that, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars flowing towards him, and he's still in terrible financial shape. Terrible. It's a band-aid on the financial disaster that is everything he touches. If he likes being the star, and as long as he doesn't make it official, he can just run his mouth, say what he wants, do fundraisers, manipulating people, on and on and on and on. He will put it off and put that off and put that off and put that off. But I really wonder if he will run out of time, because he will be dealing with too many legal issues. Tell us 3 cards on that. Too many legal issues. Legal worries. Swords, more legal things. Worries. Doesn't matter how beautiful your quilt is, and that is a beautiful quilt. It doesn't matter how beautiful your quilt is. If it's all ill-gotten gains, it's hard to relax. 6 of Wands, Emperor. I was president, and people were. This is a fantasy. This is the I was president. I'm so important. They'll put me down, but I did what they couldn't, and blah, 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 blah. This is delusion, and this is the worry. That's what he wants, but he may try to eventually, but he'll put it off as long as he possibly can. That's almost a given, I think. Hey, Holly and Francis saying pretty hard to run for POTUS when he's defended in multiple court cases. True. Oh, but he'd try. You know, the man has no shame. He's a narcissist. He's incapable of feeling shame. Being embarrassed so that he wants vengeance. Yes. Have a woman laugh at him and watch what happens. But it's not shame. Anyway, 128.30. We have a question from Kate. What do we have to look forward to for the rest of 2021? I like that. What do we have to look forward to for the rest of this year? And the last 4 months of 2021, this good thing happened. What was this good thing that happened in the last 4 months of 2021? So say the history books. First thing I got was taking a breath. It being easier. If you took all of humanity, and certainly everyone in the country, but if you could combine them into one person, that person is able to breathe a little bit more than they could, say, a year ago. The vaccines we have horrible variants, but variants kind of become the word of 2021. But we have vaccines as well, which are helping immensely. But what can we look? And I'm not saying it's all better. I'm just saying it feels like I can get a little bit more air into my lungs. It doesn't go all the way down, but just a little bit more. last 4 months of 2021. 8 of Pentacles. Being able to do some work that maybe we enjoy. 7 of Pentacles. Oof, Death card. Merchants in the middle. 3 of Pentacles, Page of Cups. I'm getting, this is all this energy feels like, this is a card for working. Businesses, a new focus in business on employees. A new focus on, it's not just about the owner getting super, super rich. It's about a new way of doing business starting to gain some traction so that people aren't treated as inhumanely. So it's slow, but it does, this is all, but wait, I'm looking for workers, but they don't get the money. I get the money. But wait, this is the way I do it. No, this is a new start that creates, this is an ending, a new start of how to do business. So road passing, maybe the hourly wage is raised. That would be good. So I think people are able to breathe a little easier in a number of areas, and we're starting to see some changes in just decency. And if you think about how many people have minimum wage jobs, if they were all treated just a little bit better, just a little, how much positive energy would that create? How many kids would have a better Christmas? How many people would be able to maybe afford a medicine they couldn't afford otherwise? I mean, something. So anyway. Okay, sounds great. Good. All right, well, that's going to do it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. It's just wonderful. Yes, Ed, I'm grateful Joe Biden became our president. Thank you. Thank you for voting. Thank you. All right, well, hang in there. In 2 hours, I'll be over on the Book Art Media channel for daily creative work time. We just do 4 25-minute sprints where we just bring on your creative project. Doesn't matter what it is. Can be knitting, can be writing, can be painting, anything you want. We just focus for 25 minutes on each of our creative projects, and then just encourage each other in the couple of minutes between, and then we carve out some creative time in every day. You're always welcome. That's over on the Book Art Media channel at 4 p.m. Central Time, Chicago time in the U.S. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow. I will be right here like I am 365 days of the year to take your 12 questions at 12. And thank you. All right. Hang in there, everybody. I know I say it all the time, but it's true. There are good days ahead. All right. And I will see you in them.